God said, let there be light.
And let there be light.
Let there be light. So, funny enough, we gave you something on that. It's pretty funny.
Well, let's get started. Say we
are. We are. Anyway,
right.
I'm me, you're you. Let's go. But anyway, that's funny. You said, let there be light, right? So I'll give you something funny I heard on that.
You want to start off with introducing ourselves?
No, we're good. We're gone. We already did this once. So anyway, so they said it took 7 days to create it, all right?
Yes.
So there is have you ever heard of, there's probably periods in time where they think that the poles have flipped on the planet.
Yeah.
And
they're big distances, like hundreds of thousands of years.
Yes.
Okay.
But they think,
I don't know, is it a 600,000 year spread?
I don't know the cycles.
Some ridiculous number.
It's some crazy shit.
We're not going to be around.
No. But
and if it happens now, I'll be so pissed. Like my watch, the time I'm on this planet, you got to destroy just shift everything. Nah, it's not fair. I'm gonna have an argument with God.
The whole world's collapsing around you. So who really cares?
Yeah, I don't.
Isn't this when they say that people start looking up like, I'm ready for that asteroid now, God?
I don't disagree.
Humans have really fucked this thing all up.
Yes, they have on levels you can't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it really. I was at church today, and they talked about anxiety, and they said, "Do you think the social structure of our United States has changed?" Absolutely.
Well, anxiety is if it bleeds, it leads. Also,
it's
more by design.
That's
all these awful things have happened throughout history, but it wasn't pumped in everybody's faces all day.
Right.
You didn't hear about the torturing the king was doing to the prisoners, but now you do, or whatever the thing is.
Because it's history.
Well, because it's not on. That's what the king's doing to the prisoners. It's live feed. I can see it.
It's live. There's that too, but I would respectfully disagree, because let's say somebody was in maximum security prison, they got all the cameras on it and stuff.
Oh, they got suicided?
Yeah, and the guy's suicide. I don't know, like Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. Oops. All the cameras just happen not to work.
I mean, they had to remove his guy, remember?
Well,
the cop helped him out when he was about to die the one time. And then,
what happened?
Oh man! So there was a retired cop. I guess he was a dirty cop or something. Was in the cell with him, and something happened. I can't remember the details, but something happened where I think he came back in and he was like strung up, and he ended up holding him up and getting him out and stuff. But the next time it happened, the cameras were down. He was gone. He got moved to a different cell. All these other things changed.
Oh yeah, like
that's a deep hole, man.
I like when did you hear in Russia? This is kind of relatable story. So this pedophile in Russia got introduced to the daughter of the man that the guy was pedophiling, and he ended up dying suddenly. He committed suicide. It was deemed committed suicide. He stabbed himself in the back 37 times. Dug his own hole.
I hate when that happens. I hate when I do that.
What are you talking about?
Like when my random Tuesday happens.
But when
I fell on it 36 times.
A pedophile does it, I'm like, yeah. Now that's justice, And I know everybody's gonna hate me on that one, but I don't care.
Whatever. That's one of my most things.
I can't wait to hear the hate mail we get. Because I'm gonna put it on paper and I'm gonna throw it in the fire.
Well, just roll joints with it. I don't know. Make some use out of it. I don't know. It's useless otherwise.
I like your idea better.
So you're talking about justice. Like, dude, that is. I've tried to Google this before. I've tried to YouTube this. I love these moments in the universe where you get it on camera now sometimes too, where it's just instant justice. Like somebody fucks up somebody or something, and like moments later, some bad shit happens to them. It's like, yes, there is a God, right?
Instant karma is literally
instant
karma is what they call
it. It is the best shit ever.
Oh, absolutely! I saw this guy slap this girl and ran into like a truck hit him right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right, motherfucker. You gotta struck your ass down.
Right. And then you see these like near misses all day. This guy's getting ready to jump in a pool and it's raining out. And the second before he hits the water, lightning hits the water and he jumps out of it.
Where did you find them? I've been looking. I don't really see these often.
Oh, I'll help you out.
You have to direct me.
Fun ones. There's some fun ones.
Because those are the best. I love those damn things.
I agree.
Because it makes you believe the universe at some level.
Well, yeah.
Believe in it, like, because, well, the God is the thing, right? But he also allows all the bad shit to happen. But it's like when you get these moments of, you're like, yes.
Is that God kind of like showing off a little bit? Like, just a little.
Well, he's doing his job finally, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, it's not his job. You know, we're supposed to have stewards over this place.
Okay.
We're supposed to. Men are supposed to take care of this place.
At the same time, the community is no longer allowed to police the community. That used to be a thing.
We can police it.
At what cost?
The feelings of others.
No, it used to be if, like, there was a story this morning. I was talking to my wife's grandmother. Her brother was rude to her way back when they were growing up. Came to the skating rink one day, right? And he pushed her over and thought it was hilarious. And what happened was 3 boys came up to him and said, why did you do that to her? She could have got really hurt. And he thought it was funny. He said, I have that right because I'm her brother. Fine. Those motherfuckers waited outside for that dude and gave him the business.
Good.
And then he got home and spun it to her dad that she had told them to do that to him. Girlfriend of hers found out, said, no, you don't have to worry about it. She went and told those same boys, gave him the business again because she got whacked for it at home because she had spun it up. Justice. The community used to be allowed to police the community. You do that shit today, you're probably going to jail.
Well, I really don't know.
So it's at what cost? At what cost?
At what cost? Like I said, people's feelings.
No, like you would go to jail today if you did that stuff.
If you did what?
If you served justice.
Served justice. Instant karma, baby. There's so you
that thing happens today. Those boys are getting locked up, probably for some hate crime stuff. Who knows what they would say, right? But especially if his mama is real vocal and is real litigious and blah 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 blah.
Well, you know, I've seen a lot of stories.
Who that kid's mom knows or whatever.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but
the community used to be allowed to take out the trash,
right?
If you know what I mean.
Well, is that right? You know, they would string people up on. String people up on
justice
gallows.
Has never been perfect.
Stoning.
How many people today are in jail that shouldn't be?
A girl gets, back in the day, girl gets caught with adultery. They start stoning her to death.
Oh, witchcraft! That whole goddamn thing.
So, is it right? That's what I'm trying to say. Is that right?
Right? The world is not right.
I agree.
As far as you can fight, it'll never be right, but you can make it better.
You can make it better. You can try.
Well,
that's the objective.
This is what I told you a while back. I was like, who does the smiting for God? Because nobody seems to have. Who takes out the trash?
The angels.
And I said, I'd like
to
apply for this position.
I do too.
And then I said, give me the discernment, God. I'll be your vessel.
I think
clean up these streets.
In Revelation, you got to read the story. You got to hear 2 stories on this. I told you about the girl that passed. I used to read books on people that went to the other side and came back. And the girl said, the girl that passed on the other side said, I saw an angel. And he goes, when you look at an angel, it's like looking at a warrior, the most confident, complete warrior you've ever seen in your life.
Achilles.
I think it was Michael.
Achilles in that vein of Achilles, that would be the epitome of the warrior, right?
Right. Well, the visual, yeah. And she called them warring angels. And then she said that all she knew was when that angel was put on task, he wasn't coming back till it's done. That sounds like a real man.
Yeah, that sounds like a
angel
behind enemy lines, SEAL from the fucking Vietnam days. He ain't coming back unless he's done. Michael,
I kind of relate to the Michael persona. My name's Michael.
Michael is something. That's what I said to you before. I think isn't there a Michael who's like an archangel?
Michael's an archangel.
Who's
God's number 1.
In that? Well, besides Lucifer, obviously.
Was number 1.
He's his second choice. Is he slighted? Does he feel like, hey, I'm the redheaded one here?
No, he's like, well, he had to take over. He had to take over for Lucifer's absence, right?
Well,
And then
forcibly removed absence. But
you're probably right. Got kicked out, or at the end, he got kicked out. And then the enemy was talking to Eve and Revelations, and Michael couldn't handle it. And he jumped up and ripped out the devil's tongue. I thought, damn. I don't like lies. But I don't know if I don't like lies that much.
My kind of guy right there.
That's my point in case. I'm like, this is a guy that I can relate to. And that's what's so sorely missed around here right now.
Community is no longer allowed to police the community.
Well, if you allow it.
Not to say that it was perfect way back when. It's never been perfect. But you look at it now, as good. Okay, here's one for you. As good as it's come that we've done for thousands and thousands of years as people, we've got it pretty much. Well, maybe not now with the PC weird shit, right? But like 90s
weird shit.
But like 90s shit, like when merit was everything.
Yeah,
we kind of had the justice thing to a tip. It was pretty.
Are you saying that's the apex?
Pretty well. I mean, look at the witch trials bullshit. I mean, that was just hocus pocus. Mm-hmm. I don't fucking like you, so now you're a witch.
You're basically, if a girl was alone, they would call her a witch.
I mean, they could come up with any number of reasons.
Right.
I mean,
you got into town, the Black Plague went through the town, like, oh, it's the witch.
But even now, how many fucked up cases do you see? How many wrong cases do you see? How many people that are put in for dumb shit do you see? I mean, yeah.
Are we talking California?
Oh, we're talking globally. How many people get shit from the feds planted on them so they can get them in jail? How many people get Epsteined? How many people get...
I think it's a very small number.
I told a friend of mine is talking about doing dirt and stuff before. It's like, I think the government sees everybody and they hear everything, but they just pick and choose who they want.
Yes.
Because they know that petty criminals are doing things, but they don't want. They know they're doing their thing. They know the bugger guys are doing it. They just pick and choose who they want.
Mm-hmm. When they're focused, like Jesus, or not Jesus, when God, told Satan, look at my beloved Job, and then his life fell apart.
He took his eyes out, right?
No, he just everything like.
And the whole Job thing, I thought he lost his sight.
I don't know if he did.
I thought that was Job.
At first,
Satan blinded him because he was like, where's your God at now, and all that.
I think it was more that one. Job was.
It's Job though, right? It's the same guy.
Job had a lot of stuff happen to him.
Yeah, so. He was like one of God's favorites. And he said, he'll never turn this one. And Satan said, all right, watch this shit. And he made him blind.
And
I think he took his family from him or something too.
He goes, you can't hurt him. And then the enemy goes, yeah, no problem. So he took his wife, his kids, his livestock, his land.
Wasn't that Satan that did that to him? Or?
Satan did that. So that's the duality, what goes on in this world. It plainly shows you that there's evil in this world.
Well, if you don't know that already,
some people think it's
real ivory tower bullshit right there.
Well, some people think it's not a duality. It's like humans are inherently bad.
I get how you get there,
right? I'm not disagreeing.
I get how you get there.
They're inherently bad, or there's somebody whispering in your ear. And for me, I always hear like, hey, I'm married. Go, that girl's cute. Go, hit on her. Right? I hear that voice. And then the left brain comes on and goes, oh, you know what? No.
Reason and rationale.
Or the angel.
Or the emotional side of you.
Or the angels that talk.
That's pretty cool too. I've been linking, so I've been seeing if this is a link to like the emotional side of you and the animal side of you. I'm wondering if those are the same thing.
Yeah, you ask good questions. I don't know.
I think they are. I think that's where that primal shit comes from, is the emotions. And those are really old centers in your body. That's what they would call like lizard brain shit, probably.
The medulla oblongata.
I don't know.
The center part. It's a little teeny part of your brain, and it's mainly there for emotions. That process.
Well, the limbic system, right, is emotions. Mm-hmm. The whole limbic system, not even just the brain.
The brain can, I can be checked on this at all times. I'm not.
No, we're just spitting shit. So we ain't here to be nobody's doctor.
So I do not give doctors.
We're gonna tell you how it is, but. We might not be able
to explain it.
Yeah.
Fact check this part. But the medulla oblongata is the part of your brain where it creates anger, rage, love, hate, and then your limbic system passes it through the body. So they say it's a bunch of chemical equations. When it dumps endorphins, everybody's felt that when you're making love.
I don't know if that's true.
Really?
I say it because, thoughts create feelings.
Correct.
Thoughts create feelings.
I agree. I don't disagree with that point.
So I don't know if the limbic system is in control of the brain.
I think the brain, the medulla oblongata is the one that it controls.
Well, the medulla, Adam Sandler famously, is the one that makes him angry, right? Is the thing that makes it's oversized in the crock, so it makes him angry, all that jazz, right?
Yeah. Bingo. Bingo.
But I don't know if that's in control.
I don't think emotions are enough emotions are not in control.
That's the process.
Right. Thoughts create feelings.
It's a chemical signal.
Mm-hmm.
But a thought, like, you can't be sad unless you're thinking of the sad thing.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I guess you could be depressed or whatever, right? But typically, you're not going to be happy unless you have the happy thought.
Yes.
That's just how it goes.
It is.
So thought precedes feelings.
Right.
This is what I can't get any fucking woman to understand.
Although you want to go there, but I think I have
to be fair, I can't get half the fucking men to deal with it either. So,
well, here's a question for you: is IQ more important than EQ?
Absolutely.
You think so?
IQ would control EQ if it knows what it's doing.
Emotional control is EQ.
Emotional control, emotional intelligence is EQ.
Yes, correct.
I mean, it's kind of all the same thing, I guess.
EC is emotional control.
It's kind of all the same thing.
Well, understanding it, that's a huge.
That's why I say IQ is more important, because you said understanding. So if you intellectually can understand your emotions, you will intellectually avoid it or do what you need to, not talk to the girl, as you say, right?
Exactly.
So you intellectually understand what your emotions aren't even in the game yet.
Correct, but back to the point is which one's more important.
IQ.
If you get
That's
you
like
don't
saying,
get control of, if you don't understand your emotions and you can't control them, how generally is your life going to go?
That's like saying, is reason more important or emotion more important?
Well, I would say reason's more important. That's why you're able to control. You have to control your emotions.
Intellectual would be more important.
I think the control of the
through the intellectual. Because we already stated that the intellectual precedes the emotion.
Correct.
So you have to get step 1 down before you can get step 2. Otherwise, step 2 is just going to break everything.
That's my point. If you can't,
but I think most people, that's how it is.
Here, let's say I understand. I shouldn't get mad when someone hits my car. But someone hits my car. That's your intellect just goes out the window without the emotional control.
That's like road rage, right?
Road rage. Someone, I don't think I get upset with a car, but if someone was like hurting my family, I have a plan to dismantle that person and break every joint in their body as I call the police.
And with my shovel in hand.
Nah, I want him to be taken away alive so that, I'm going to bust his arm, I'm going to bust his other arm, I'm going to go to his leg and pop his knee out, pop his other knee out. Then I'm going to choke him out just keep choking him out until the cops come.
Until he doesn't want to come back to life? Like, maybe not this time.
It's not really an option. We're gonna keep him.
It's a gray window here. It's like a gray space.
I hate being Italian. I'm Sicilian, and I learned a lot as a.
Oh, stop it!
No, I'm serious.
This is a global thing. You're not special.
Yeah, no. Here's one of the Italian.
Tell that to a Viking, all right?
Okay, same difference.
Tell that to a Mexican.
Same difference.
All right.
Same difference. So a friend of mine taught me about myself. This hit hard. This hit really hard. Years ago, hit a van. I was starting my business and had all these tools in it. And then like day before Christmas, all my tools got stolen. And I was so pissed. I was like, oh, God, show me who it is so I can fucking kill him. Show me who it is.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine said, God's not going to show you that because he knows what you're going to do.
But you could find out, though.
I did find out.
See? So what did he really play in the matter?
Well,
he saved your Christmas? Because he still found out.
He waited a long enough time. I wasn't that pissed. I wasn't going to kill him.
So the emotions died down. The fire wasn't raging. It was down to some embers on it.
Yes. Yeah. And then he said to me, he goes, how are you going to kill him?
I got an idea.
At the time, at a 22, that was real quiet. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. But
22 was really small, though.
Well, it's a rifle. It had deadly accuracy.
You still might just piss him off, though.
Not if you catch him in the ear.
You got to get him in a really good spot with a 22.
1 or 2. Knock him down and then...
You're talking, you got to hit an artery with that thing.
No. You'd be surprised. once it gets in.
They
Someone
say
said,
the 22 bounces around a lot, right? So you got that on your side.
so I said I'd be on top of his neighbor's across the street roof. Just climb up there, and then just wait for him to get a cup of coffee or a newspaper back in the day. Then I go, and he goes, my friend goes like this, and he goes, "No, you don't." I'm like, that's kind of the plan. Why are you trying to mess with my plan?
Why'd you ask me then?
Right. Why'd you ask me, right? Why are you trying to tell me that bullshit? And he goes, "You're Sicilian." I'm like, yeah, and? He goes like this is so messed up. He goes, "You want to get him by the back of the neck and stick the knife in and turn it."
I knew it was a knife.
And watch him leave. And I was like, wow, you're right. I do. I want to see it in his eyes and say goodbye. Tell Jesus I said hi.
Yeah, this is a difference. It's a big difference.
It is a big difference than being on a sniper and being in front of the guy.
Oh, pulling the trigger and doing it up close and personal. Those are very different things.
Exactly. And as stupid as it all sounds, back
I've
then
talked
it made
to a number of
sense.
people who very much enjoy the up close and personal.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot
You'd be
more
surprised.
Yeah. And that's the street justice you're talking about earlier.
That's the lack of IQ over EQ. Because it feels great in the moment, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
But
yeah, then the cops come.
It also makes not a regular thing of it, but like it makes it easier to do it again, I'm sure.
I'm sure it does.
No,
everything I've done that's hard, it's easier the next time. And, justifiably.
Everything in life is probably that way, though, really.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever think about like the cycle of the military, right? I've heard that for a while. Is that it seems like whenever anybody in the military is finally getting good at their job, they switch their job. And now they're doing another thing because they rank up and they do all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they never get to fucking chill and actually master their job. They start to get good at it and they switch them up. They start to get good at it and they switch them up. It's because they're trying to make sure that they're well-rounded for one, but they don't get stuck in one lane either.
Well,
it's appropriate.
It reminds me of martial arts. Like, we start off somebody at a white belt, then we show them all these techniques, and we get good at it. Great, you got your yellow belt. Start all over and have another set of techniques that you got to get through.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's a learning process to get to a goal. And the goals would be obviously the higher elevation.
I still wish the black belt took like minimum 15 years, but that's just me. I see a lot of these belts just flying out some of these places, and I'm just like,
oh, dude, you have no idea.
Yeah,
you have no idea.
I've seen.
No, you have no idea.
You're in that world, but I've seen enough.
You want to hear a story that made me want to throw up?
I just want to throw the whole thing away. Like, why are we even doing this?
Well, it upset me with certain groups of martial artists. You ever hear of Mr. Bill? This is the old folks. Mr. Bill. Remember Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live? Saturday Night Live is, oh, no, it's Mr. Bill. And it was a clay. They'd come over and then they'd smash him with something. It's Mr. Bill. And
they would have some murder scene that was awaiting.
Right. With clay, he's dying. She got a knife in him and stuff. All of it. Yeah. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But, there was this one guy that was my contemporary, right? So this guy got his belts with me. Almost all of them. And we got to our black belts. We got our black belts name called the same time. So we both went up, we got our belts, and then we're going for our second dan. I think we got our second-degree black belts. Now, the difference between a first dan and a second dan is 5 years to get at our school to get your first dan, 2 years to get your second dan, 3 years to get your third dan, 4 years to get your fourth dan. Okay? So this guy is on his second dan with me. He goes up to the guy that owns the school and says, I want to buy the school. And the owner was smart enough to say, no, because you're not that sharp at this. Right? You're not that sharp at this. You think you know what you're talking about. An eighth dan talking to a second dan. And then he goes, I'm quitting. I'm gonna go start my own school. Right, go ahead, take a shot. Let me know how it works out for you. So he started real close to our school. So he was kind of like putting the
competitor.
Yeah, he's putting the gauntlet down. Like, I'm gonna do better than you guys. We're like, oh, okay.
That's a turf war.
It's a turf war in martial arts, kind of like Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Look at that.
And then
you had your own version of Cobra Kai back.
I went over and saw him and looked at the school. I'm like, yeah, good luck. Let me know how this works out for you. And then I don't know why, but I looked online for a school. I was showing my grandmaster. I go, hey, look, he started his school. And I looked at it and I'm like, fourth dan, Master Burgess. And I looked at my grandmaster and I'm like, he's a second dan. That's
He didn't get
3
it from
more
you.
years and 4 more years.
He didn't get
for
it
me.
No, he didn't get it from your guy.
No, he didn't get it from my guy, right? And that was kind of interesting. I was like, what the fuck? And then he goes, yeah, where'd you get it from? And he said, this guy. And he goes, we call, I don't know if he's still around, but we call him, Mr. Bill, Master Bill. So, kind of
making a mockery of the whole thing.
He's making a mockery of the whole thing. So he is this.
Dude, if it was old school, like 80s, you might actually have your life threatened for some shit like that.
You know what?
No joke.
You're probably 100%
no joke.
right.
Remember, like early Gracie days, they were fighting in a garage, like to the death. Like whoever just died at first. Yeah, those were real turf wars back then.
They're not far off from that now. Gracie's still like that. They are. They're no joke. They're one dimensional. They're all on the ground now. Like everybody says, what's the best art? What's the best art? I'm like, there's no such thing as the best art. It's the best artist.
Well, I agree with Tyson in that he says boxing, but I say fighting. Fighting is a thinking man's game.
Correct.
Most things in life are a thinking man's game.
Correct.
Really, when you break it down.
Correct.
But fighting is just a thinking man's game. Whoever can be least emotional with the most preparedness.
Emotional control? Did you say emotional control?
What comes first?
Huh?
What comes first?
Oh, the IQ. No. I think we're arguing 2 different things.
I don't know.
You're saying that which comes first is IQ. Don't get me wrong. What's more important?
IQ.
I think EQ.
Really?
Emotional control. EC. Understanding.
I think the control comes from the IQ, though. I think we're probably
that's right. It's controlling it. That's the hard part. So here's why.
Because once you dip into your EQ, it's hard to get back to the IQ. Once you become animal, it's hard to become human again, or whatever you want to say.
So, you ever see me break stuff?
I've seen stuff of you, yeah.
Videos, me breaking. What do I do? What's the first thing I do right before I break?
Go into roid mode?
Right. I get all pissed off and I try and build my rage.
Okay.
Right?
But I'm sure you're not, there's probably other people that do it differently, right?
It's the same process done differently.
I mean, it's a and then a thing.
Yeah.
But how you get there, how you get amped up or whatever.
I had one friend of mine,
but this is a little different, though, because this is a one-strike thing you're doing.
But
this isn't a football game. This isn't a basketball game where you have to think, right? A fight where you have to think.
You got to think. Trust me. It's all form. It's all technique.
But it's a one bang.
Right.
It's a kicker. A kicker could do that, I think. A kicker would be like, ah, and then just go kick the shit out of it.
Quick twitch. Right? That's what a kicker is, quick twitch. How you just, when you ever see those foot go off, and that ball goes. It's a quick twitch muscle.
A little. So but still, even then, they do it for a living, and they still shank them.
Right. I miss. Everybody misses.
You miss?
Oh, I miss.
Ooh.
Like, it's not fun.
It sounds painful.
So there's it's not fun. Trust me. That's my point. Dude, you're just proving my point. This is awesome. So I get all enraged up, and then I got to focus all that rage dead middle of these blocks right here, pushing straight down.
You got to rage up.
So I got to come straight down, and then if I go bam, and then literally if you hit on an angle and you got to stack like this, you hit here. You're only going to break up to here, and you'll see the bricks breaking on that. And when it gets to the end,
the force through the.
It's the directional force.
You can see it though in the thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's when you fuck up. No, when you screw up. No, it's not fun.
Well, when you do it perfect, it goes straight down. But even when you fuck up, you can see it twist off to the sides and things.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's not cool because you fucked up.
No, it sucks for that person.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool that you can see the direction from the impact through the material.
It is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like when
you can actually, because you can't tell your coach that, I hit it perfect, I swear. And then he's looking at it sideways and like, no.
Back to the videotape. So that you can see a brick like this. I've hit over here like 2 or 3 inches. I get, it's getting that rage and then focusing on that one spot. It's a lot harder than you think. It's so hard to get as much rage focused in one spot and then turn it off.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine, so EQ, that's what I'm talking about. EC actually, emotional control, not understanding it. Well, I guess understand it because you got to understand it to control it.
I think EQ, EC, same thing to me. I don't know.
You think so?
I don't actually know. I could look it up and see what
EQ is
equivalency or something. Maybe I don't know.
IQ is intelligence quiz, so quotient. EQ would be emotional quiz.
Quotient, isn't it?
Yeah,
intelligence quotient. So it would be emotional quotient.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck that means in the process?
EC is to control, I think, is more important. Well, here, listen. Do you think in a fight? Here's what I've learned. I learned early on. I say about green belt that as soon as I get pissed off, I lose. The second I get pissed off, I lose. And then I related it to my life. Arguments with my wife, arguments with my kids, arguing with people that I work with, arguing with the customers. Right? So the second I get pissed, I lose. This is the greatest gift you guys could ever. Just learn to stay calm and just have the conversation. And it drives people absolutely batshit crazy, and you're always at a high advantage. So when I jumped into a ring with somebody, they'd whack me, bam. I'm like, oh, that was a good reverse kick. And I come in back, bam, motherfucker. Then you just
well, it's to rattle you. It's to take you out of your game when they do.
To take you out of your game. Yeah. And then once I kept going, I just got picked apart. And then I'm like, the next time
because you come back emotional. It's the fighting man's game is the thinking man's game, right?
Correct. My grandmaster said, I said, what % of sparring, fighting, is mental? And he looks at me and goes, 100%.
All of it, yeah.
I was like, no, I'm arguing with
it. When you get the green light, it might be a little different. But sparring, yeah, that's all mental.
Point in case. And I was trying to argue the point with the eighth dan that, no, you gotta work out. You know, you gotta train your muscles. You gotta do this. Wow. And he just gets all excited and goes like this. He goes, yeah. Who tells you to go work out? I go, my brain. Oh shit.
But this has proven my point more. Actually,
yeah, it's true.
That the intelligence is more important because it's all in the sparring. Because you want to get that so finely tuned, so that when fight time comes, you're still in your groove, but you can elevate your emotion with it.
Well, controlling is.
I want to add something. You said it's the greatest thing you ever pick up. I say this to everybody, but I don't know if I've ever made an emotional decision that was a good one.
Sex?
Yeah. All right.
Right, but
I mean, life situations,
sex,
though. Life situations, though.
Yeah, outside of relationships.
You get worked up over anything, you're doing dumb shit. It's just the way it goes.
I agree.
You want to do animal brain shit, you're gonna get animal fucking results.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll give you one even better. They say that I don't know if reason and emotion can exist in the brain at the same time. I've said this to you before, you push back, but I really don't know if you can, because one of the two is driving the ship. And this is the whole battle with the fight thing.
I don't disagree with you on that. That's a hard one to say.
I don't think you can reason a situation and be emotional at the same time. You're picking one of those.
Well, define emotion, because you can have.
Well, you have a lot of people out here. You can have a lot of people out here. A lot of people out here want to have emotional arguments.
Yeah.
They're not looking for a reason.
That's typically.
They're looking to confirm what they already think.
Right. They're biased.
That's from their emotion, though.
That's typically a woman's brain.
But they're not using emotional. I've seen I want to lean in with you, but dude, more and more I see these fucking dudes out here. So many of them are emotional. It's just like you might as well call them women. I swear to God. I mean,
that was horrible.
Half of them want to be called women anyway. But
well,
I saw one when I was driving in here. I saw a little woman with a big old dude. He's got a purse on his shit with some fucking little flip-flop shit, and he's just sassing himself down to the fucking store, whatever the fuck they're doing.
There's, on a scale of masculinity and femininity, there's going to be men that act feminine, and there's going to be women
That's the whole gender masculine thing that I've been arguing forever, is that there are two genders, motherfuckers. Now, there are scales of that gender.
Correct.
Some men are more girly, some men are more manly. Some women are more girly, some women are more manly. But there's only two.
Well, I don't disagree with that. As a matter of fact,
I guess 100%. There might be like weird 1 in 100 million people that come up with some weird shit through nature, right? But there is occasionally some weird shit, but there's really only two.
Yeah, well, it's a deviation of the two.
I don't know. I don't care.
It's a manipulation.
It's so minuscule that I don't even think anybody should worry about it.
There shouldn't. But what I think the woke is trying to do.
Oh God.
The woke is trying to confuse language.
The woke is trying to do a lot of shit.
Yeah, but they're trying to confuse language.
Well, some people use language to communicate, and some people use language to manipulate.
Yes. They're trying to manipulate.
Yes.
I love it how they, I love talking to them. And, every time I talk to them. You
break their brain when you make them use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that.
Because they're all emotion.
Yes.
Typically, they're all emotions.
Yeah. They want that emotional argument.
Here's some logic and reason to throw in with that and see if you can prove your points in that.
Well, you know what? This is more like the Dunning-Kruger shit, really.
How so?
They fucking learned something, so they think they're smart now. And then you fucking press them on it, and they're like,
I don't disagree with that.
It's the people in college. You see this all the time. They get all emotional, like, oh, but this, but that. And then somebody smart comes by, like, yeah, but what about this, this, and this, and this? Well, I don't know. Somebody else have an idea?
I saw
because they're all pumped up on emotion. They're not using this motherfucker. They're using this motherfucker right here.
The funniest part was Charlie Kirk just had this thing on. Did you see it?
I don't know. Which is it?
Oh, dude, this is a new one. I saw it last night. It was about an hour and 20 minutes.
Might be the Jubilee one?
Huh?
Or the race into the chair? I've seen that one, a little bit of that one recently.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the dumbest format I've seen. You know, the fat people are never going to make it to the chair. There's people arguing over the chair. And then they get kicked out by people in the group when they say something they don't like. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
So they're saying they're not the great spokesman for that particular...
No, they're saying, I'm emotional.
Yes. Well, no, they're saying that person doesn't have the right. I get that. And then, they'd hit a buzzer and they'd have to leave. Okay. And some people walked away from Charlie like, I don't want to answer you on this one.
Yeah, some of them. The one fat girl did, remember? And I've seen probably 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, there's a 20-minute one, an hour and 20 minutes.
No, it's the 120. I just saw about 20 minutes of the thing. But I'm with you, I think.
What I thought was very impressive about that was he was literally surrounded by 20 woke kids.
Oh, I could send you some good ones. Constantine Kissin, you know him?
No.
I haven't sent you none of his shit yet?
No.
Oh, Constantine, you're a fucking G if you see this, my guy. But he's over in London, in England. That's his area.
Okay.
He's Russian, but he was raised in England.
Okay.
And he goes in there and starts telling them, they have a crowd. They have like 6 panel of people, expert-ish people, whatever, that are there to talk. They have a side kind of panel of like 20 people. And he seems to be the only motherfucker in the room that wants to tell it like it really is. He's arguing with some Habib-type people. He's arguing with some Saudi-type people. He's arguing with...
You gotta watch his life.
Dude. And he's going toe-to-toe with all of them.
Like Charlie Kirk did.
And he's doing it politely. He's breaking it down. He's a big one was, since you all aren't aware of history, I will tell you how Britain stopped slavery. Because y'all motherfuckers want to ride this train and y'all don't want to observe the truth of history.
Right.
Because Britain, even though they were involved in it, whatever, they put the kibosh on it. They started it.
We had to fight a civil war over
They started it, though, a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good idea.
That was a necessary idea.
The
world was probably going to tear itself apart if you didn't. But, weird enough, the Civil War ends, this ends, and now what do all they see? Reparations, we're victims, we're this, we're that. So it doesn't seem to ever fucking stop.
Well, people like to talk.
That's all people do.
Well, some people really like to talk.
Well,
I'll never forget this one girl was on a reality show, and she goes, "What's your job? What's your job in this show?" And she goes, "My job's to stir the pot." And she has this little psychotic look on her face.
Ooh, I can kind of get with that, though.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I like doing that shit too. I like fucking people's heads up sometimes.
Just stir that pot, man. Let me know how this thing works out for you.
Well, I hit you with one a while back. I don't know if you remember. But I come by and I do my thing, right? And we get to talking in the morning a little bit. I had just come off a roller coaster of a weekend, right? And I just hit you when we started talking. And I was like, well, how you been? And I was like, whoa! And you were like, whoa, where the fuck did that come from? I don't know. Just wanted to see what you think about that. I'll do shit like that. I'll just go out there to fuck with people's heads just to like, yeah, I don't know.
I do that all the time,
it's
too.
Fun.
It is.
It's fun.
It is.
But I remember.
I love it when people jump. Like I don't typically jump when that stuff happens. And I wish I would have, because I would have made what you did a lot.
No,
better.
I think you did that day a little bit though. Maybe it was morning time or whatever. I caught you off guard pretty good.
You caught me off guard.
Yeah.
When I'm sleepy, you'll catch me.
I don't know. I think shit like that's fun.
It is fun.
Just fucking with people.
Yeah, but I got a question for you. You're not gonna. Oh God, listen. We're gonna segment half our audience right now.
No, we're building the true audience. Right now,
we're building the real. You might go that route.
Constantine Line. I'll give you another one. He said we could have 10 million followers. It's like, but He's like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. I don't care if it's 1 million, but they're gonna be loyal to those million.
That's true.
I completely believe that shit.
Well, it's 100% true because I call it hunting with your pride.
Hunting with your pride?
Hunting with your pride. So when we look at our business, we're looking for multifamily. You get a bunch of people together.
Yeah.
And then you go look for multifamily. And then, one person underwrites it. One person goes out there and takes a look at it. One person talks. Yeah, it's a team.
It's like a team of 5 at least that kind of do it, right?
Yeah, 3 to 5. I like 3 to 5 because because
you can do it effectively in a good amount of time with that.
Well, what I like about 3 to 5 is there's no ties. If you got 4 or partner, if you got a 50-50, or we're partners on something. You want one thing, I want another. What do we do?
We're compromising.
How? You want this, I want that.
It's your situation. I'm just living in it.
But what I'm saying is, some people could really screw themselves up when you have just dual partner. So what I like doing is having 3. I'll explain why. So we have this multifamily in South Carolina. We call it Briarcliff. And if something goes on, perfect example, we're at a meeting, property manager, the three owners, right? I go, hey, listen, H is open, the unit's open, and it needs a new AC unit. So let's just do it while it's open, so we don't have to, have somebody in. It's the last one. Out of all of them we replaced all we needed up till this last one. This one's open. Let's do it.
It's vacant.
The other 2 said no. Done with the conversation. There's no more arguing because 2 said yes or no. Does that make sense?
This is why I would need to be the boss.
No, it's actually better when you have more smarter people in it.
I would have advisors, but I would be the boss.
And then, right when the new person got in, the AC broke and we had to replace it.
Yeah, because they wouldn't listen.
No, it wasn't they weren't listening. They just wanted to save money at that time. And it's fine. We had the money in the account. Sounds
like the same as not listening.
You could say it that way. You wouldn't be wrong. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be wrong. But no, it's...
So why 3 to 5? What does that split up there?
Because there's always a majority.
Oh, tiebreaker shit.
Yeah, tiebreaker stuff. Partnership.
Well, that just assumes that they're all equally intelligent.
Well,
people are better at different things. Correct. People can pick up on things better than others, or for planning, like you were thinking with the vacancy. Let's just do it, but they didn't want to. Some people are better at forethought.
Some people are.
I think you should put people where they're best. Really.
Exactly.
Not
go with your gift.
Lean into your strengths.
Yeah. Go with your gifts. Lean with your strengths. Yeah, exactly. That's 100%. That's 100% what you're supposed to do. Like, what I really hate is school tries to get you.
I disagree.
School tries to get you up on everything. Math, science.
To a point, I disagree.
Math, science, home ec, typing, whatever, computers, whatever they want to teach you, right? So when you get, my kids had like 7 classes in junior high school. They're all 45 minutes apiece. Yeah. So it was 7 classes, and I don't mean English, science, foreign language, whatever it was. Don't get me wrong, the school is great. But if you lacked in science and you did great at everything else, what did they say? Concentrate on your weakness.
I agree.
Where you're not good. Instead of work with your strengths.
I agree.
So what I've learned is whenever I look for a job or, I have a position to fill, I go, I'm looking for the person that wants to do that more than anything else.
I agree with that too.
Because they're made for it.
I agree with both.
Work on your weakness and get graded on it. So that to me sounds like a horrible proposal.
I don't think
really?
So. Not at all.
Okay.
This is like when you grow up in life, right? Say if somebody was an electrician.
Right.
And they wanted to do electrical. And they got 16, 18, 20, whatever year they were.
Right.
They became an electrician.
Right.
But because they became an electrician, they didn't learn how to do anything else. Because they drove really hard in their one lane. And no, I don't think that's best. I think it's best if you are well-rounded. I think you should work on your weaknesses. I think that you should know where they are. You should work on them. And I think that once you get some kind of base about you, then you drive hard in your strengths.
Okay. So when I was talking about being graded, okay, remember my kids had 8 classes? And if one of them fell, they would concentrate on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So they would grade you on what you're not good at. Okay.
Fair.
So how far off is that from judging a fish on its ability to climb a tree?
Well, we're humans.
But if you're going to judge the fish,
but we can all do it. It's
on its ability to climb a tree.
Judge it versus what another fish could do well.
The judging. The point system.
But another fish can do the climbing.
Correct.
In this scenario.
Correct. The monkey can climb a tree faster than a fish.
Okay, well, if the monkey's being graded, he should be compared to other monkeys. And if a fish
Well,
is
so
being
how
graded,
is his what is his abilities in swimming? But a fish can swim like a banshee.
but you're not being compared to monkeys. You're being compared to other humans.
I'm just saying each individual being judged on their weakness.
They're not that different, though.
How so?
Because they're all humans.
Right.
Because if one man can do it, I can do it.
You can. There's gifts in everything,
Sure.
and there's downfalls in everybody. There's gifts in people, and there's downfalls. This is the craziest thing. I'm really good at breaking shit.
Okay, well,
That is the most insane gift there is.
If you drive really hard in one direction, you lose a lot of other stuff too. Like if you're on your own, you need to be able to know how to frame, how to sheetrock, how to roof, how to electric, how to plumb. These are well-rounded things. If you think about the men that came before us, they know how to do all this shit.
Correct.
Because that's life.
Correct.
Life is not specialty shit. This is what you get when you have an advanced civilization that is well on their way. That is not life, though.
Well, when? So let's talk in the 1800s when they built a house. You ever seen a house in the 1800s that was built? It was built like shit.
I mean,
because the guy was not a master of any one trade. Now what we have now is society, or it's society.
It's more about getting it done.
Well, no, it's not about getting it done. It's getting it done better.
No, but he got it done. That's why it's still standing.
I'm telling you, now is getting it done better.
Okay, we can build on that.
Right? So if you let's say the 1800 guys built a house. Can it compare to anything we build now?
Probably not.
No, because we've gotten better. So what have we done is instead of one person doing everything, we got a crew of framers. We got a crew of cement guys. You will
end up with a better product.
We got a crew of electricians. We got a crew of roofs. And so in a society, you know, your job is to do this. Let's say someone's job is to put a roof on a house. I need that roof to be done.
Yeah.
Right? Here's where economies came in. This guy is great at roofing, so he had a few guys and put on a roof. Another guy's great at painting, so he's painting the whole house. And then another guy's good at trimming, so he puts all the cabinets, the casing, base in the house. And another guy comes and does all the electrical. Another guy does all the plumbing, right? They're all individual, but they're really good because that's all they do. He goes plumbing.
I would value somebody to become a GC more than I would to do each one of those.
So what's that old saying that a jack of all trades,
master of none?
Master of none. Did you ever hear the end of that?
I thought that was the end.
No.
Little did I know.
Little did you know. You happen to catch the two things. Martial arts and building are my fortes. Jack of all trades. They used to say jacks up all the trades. A jack of all trades, not master of none.
That's a good one. But I bet it's true. It's so true, I bet.
Individually.
You come back and you had to clean it. Oh, why the hell did he do this way or whatever?
I'll never forget this one.
That's so perfect.
This one guy said this.
Jacks up all the trades.
I was starting and I was doing trim. There's old guys. He was like 60 at the time. I was 21, and he goes, "I've been doing it like this for 30 years," and I just like a jerk, and it was horrible. Sorry, Emilio. I said, "Yeah, but what if you've been doing it wrong for 30 years?"
That's a fresh fucking idea, huh?
He didn't like.
Well, he stepped all over his pride and his ego. And
I've been doing it like this for 30 years. I'm like, well, I could show you a way to do it a little bit better. You open to coaching? Yeah.
That's most people. You know what that was? You were having an emotional argument.
I was having a logical argument.
Well, you were having an argument with somebody who was having an emotional argument.
Correct. And that's typically, you know how men's and women's brains work, right?
That's kind of, if you think about it, when I said earlier about the emotional argument, you can't hold those two at the same time.
I'm kind of falling into your trap.
Yeah,
I'm really falling into your trap.
I've beat it up a number of ways, but one's driving the ship,
and it's always the EQ one.
That's whatever you decide. It's whatever you decide.
Well, if someone's having an emotional argument and you're staying in the EC, emotional control, they can't win.
Detached in a way.
Well, I'm arguing the point. I'm arguing the point.
Following your logic.
Following my logic, right? Yeah. Here's my logic. Prove me wrong. Here's my logic.
That's arguing with a woman, and you'll quickly find out how irrelevant that is.
Well,
not all, obviously, but you get the point.
All right, here's where we get canceled. So,
hey, let's do it early.
Let's start off strong.
Let's do it early.
What I've noticed out of being married for 32 years, I only speak on things I know about being married, martial arts, building, raising kids.
Wow.
And martial arts.
I'm trying to speak on everything. So
good luck. I don't need to speak on those. But when it comes to this particular part, I've had many arguments with my wife.
Yeah.
And I found that women typically think and act on emotions, and guys think and act on logic and reason. So you have to pull yourself into their shoes and control. And I keep telling my wife every day, greatest words ever. If we're not having a conversation, we're having an argument. I want to stay on the conversation.
I like that.
If we're not having a conversation, we're arguing.
Well, it's conversation is what you do before swords come out, right?
As Star Wars says, we were in negotiations, and then what happened? I heard it didn't go well. Yeah, we pulled out our lightsabers. They said, he goes, well, what do you mean with lightsabers? He goes, well, that's a negotiation with lightsabers.
Whatever the fuck.
Basically fighting, but just negotiations.
That's funny.
No,
that's why all this is so important, you know.
I get it, and that's why I like doing transfer the knowledge that I have. And this is all, how it's worked for me. I'm going to tell you how it's worked for me. I hope it works for you. But when I'm dealing with my wife and she's being emotional, I can do one of two things. I can say, hey, listen, let's talk about this later. Get emotional. And they love that, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah.
And stay on point and be logical. Bill Burr says it best. He goes, take the punches. And when they're coming at you, you got them against the ropes. And just take the punches. And then you jump up and say the word cunt. And then it just fucking throws everything you said out the window.
Not just
you just lost the argument. Yeah, you just lost the argument just because you said the word. And it goes, but you got to stay cool, man. You got to take the punches. Take the point. Just take the punches. It's a brilliant analogy, If you try and have an intelligent conversation with your wife, and then get back into the loving part of it, which is not easy.
Well, how many people? Everybody knows this. Say shit that they don't mean when they're emotional. The men and women both do this shit. I do this shit. I'm sure you've done this shit. It's just
I do it less as I get older.
Well, because you got it more under control.
Right.
But
remember how
many people do this? Everybody does this.
And when I was younger, I did a lot more.
Yeah.
You fucking cunt. There goes that.
But then why have the emotional argument?
Well,
not saying you should, but I'm saying like your Amelia thing. Like anybody who wants to have this emotional argument, you're wasting your time.
I agree with that. But if you're having an argument, so what about emotions when you're having love? So emotions are necessary. That's what I've learned. I thought emotions were unnecessary. Emotions are necessary. For a relationship.
They're a good indicator, but that's about it.
Well, loving, kind, like my wife says all the time, I just want to have a loving, kind relationship. I'm like, beautiful. Listen to me.
Then everything will be good.
No. And I would, obviously if I do something, it's all going to be for her. And when she does stuff, it's all for me. That's when you got a loving relationship. Everything she does is for me. Everything I do is for her. And it's not one, it's not two people, it's one.
Well, that's supposed to be the basis.
It's supposed to be that way.
I just assume that's a default, really.
It is a default.
It's like I is no more. We is now.
Mm-hmm. So
everything's supposed to be that way.
What if you said that's the way I took it as baseline? Right? That's normal.
I just thought that was default.
Right, your default, right?
Yeah.
What if the other person doesn't think that?
I've run into that.
Everybody has.
Like, what's your money is your money. What's my money is my money. Oh no, sorry.
Exactly.
What's your money is my money, and what's my money is my money.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people out there like that.
There's a lot of people like that. And, this is kind of funny. Like, I'm hearing women we're going to get canceled again.
Let's go.
Let's do it on the
Let's go. That's what we're here for.
That's a one thing.
Bold ideas coming your way.
So bad ideas coming your way.
It's a matter of perspective.
So when what I've noticed, what I've experienced in relationships, and I listen to Jordan Peterson, he really lays everything out. Women are high in neuroticism, men are high in anger. Right? And how do women show emotions?
Every which way they can.
Well, number one, what's their number one go-to emotion?
Well, in neuroticism, if you're going to follow that train, he always often says that neuroticism is higher in negative emotion.
Correct. So what happens when a girl gets negative emotions?
Nothing good.
They start crying.
Oh, you want me to pull up the Aristotle?
Oh, go for it.
Please, please keep talking.
So women show emotions by crying. Men show emotions by anger.
Typically. Well, okay. I've heard before people say that anger is the one emotion that men are allowed to Yeah.
That hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
So if your wife starts crying, what happens? You get angry and start yelling. And then she starts crying more because you're yelling. And then you get louder because she's crying harder.
Right.
So that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why God put those two together and made that try and work, because it's tough. But if you had two logical people together, they probably wouldn't have a lot of love.
God,
two Spocks.
I wish we had the B-roll going.
The B-roll?
Yes. We're going to have a B-roll at some point. Okay, I'm going to have video, and we will have little clips that we can talk about. And there's just one in particular. There's a stand-up guy hit at home.
Who?
Ari Matai is his name.
Okay. Don't know.
He's a young dude. He's just coming on to the Kill Tony scenes, blowing him up and stuff. And dude,
love Kill Tony.
He has such a good joke on this. He talks about a couple that was fighting. I'm not gonna ruin the joke, but
B-roll.
We're gonna get that shit
right
going.
So Aristotle, what do you got to say about Aristotle?
I think it was Aristotle. Socrates, sorry.
Socrates.
Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is her nature to weep when she wants her will.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Socrates.
Socrates is a goat, dude.
I'm
leaning more and more thinking he's like the philosopher of philosophers.
Don't disagree.
I
haven't found a better one. Show me a better one.
Nietzsche.
You think so?
Dude.
Socrates?
Dude.
Nietzsche.
Dude.
Really?
Nietzsche broke the game, dude. He said everybody that came before him was cowards. Oh, man. Now, don't get me wrong. Nietzsche was wrong about a lot of stuff, too. But god damn.
When he was right, he was right.
He, as Peterson has said, he philosophized with a hammer. And
philosophized with a hammer.
Yes. And that is so true. This is where, big one for Nietzsche I love is he says that he believes that most people's morality is just cowardice because they don't have the balls to be the person that they really want to be.
So
will you admit that you like stuff that is uncouth, that is not societally appropriate?
Yeah, everybody does.
No, nobody will admit it.
I just did.
No, let's just for hearsay, let's just say that you enjoy raping people. Are you going to admit to the world that you like raping people?
No.
Because you're a coward.
No.
Yes. Because they'll string your ass up eventually. It's kind of a smart move, I guess, if you're a raper. But I'm just saying, there are plenty of things that
I don't rape.
Well, yeah, nobody here rapes. But there are plenty of things inside you that you fucking get off on that are not societally appropriate. And his point is that you're all a bunch of fucking cowards because you won't be who you really are.
What if who you really are is noble and honorable?
You're still an animal.
Yeah.
So you have sin.
So you control.
So you have sin.
The name of this video, the name of this podcast is Control.
The name of
Emotional Control.
Is Bold Ideas.
EQ.
We're going to break them all.
So you want to wrap
Cowardice.
Cowardice. We're gonna have to wrap this one up because you're getting into the hour time frame.
Dude.
But you want to set another one for cowards? Cowards are all around the world right now.
Yes.
All around the world.
Well, they always have been, but yes.
But they're growing at an exponential rate, and real men are dying at an exponential rate. All right, cut. We're gonna let you go by this one.
Yeah.
We'll start you up on the new one relatively soon.
We'll finish like this.
Okay, we'll finish with these kind words.
But he said, in my opinion, the truth is polarizing. When Jesus came, he said, I came to defy people. I came to bring a sword. I'm going to separate people in their own houses.
That is
fire.
Everybody's like, what was Jesus? I go, he was a rebel.
He was a badass, apparently.
He changed the world.
I told you the other day, I think Jesus walked with an invisible sword. And he wielded that motherfucker, though.
Yeah, it was truth.
Yeah, it was language, essentially.
Truth.
But it's all
truth.
It's all in ties with it.
He told the Jews so much truth, they nailed him to a cross.
Yeah. Well, let's say the Jews ordered it and the Romans executed it. Right?
They couldn't do it. Yes, they couldn't. On Shabbat,
Cletus Pieties, whatever the hell his name was.
Yes, Pontius Pilate
took
him out. Well, it was it was all in the cards. And I have Jewish cousins, uncle and aunt, and they go, you Christians, you don't like Jewish people. What are you talking about? My Lord and Savior is Jewish. What are you talking about? Yeah, but we killed them. Like, no. The Romans killed them. You asked them to be killed. And guess what? I'm Italian, so I'm the freaking Roman. I'm the enemy.
You're the one that helped historically, right? It's messed up how that works.
All right, Bold Ideas with Michael Menino and
Brian Goss.
Nice. See you on the next one. Thanks for listening, guys.